Hello，今日咧算係比較精神啲啦個樣，因為咧有化少少妝啦，頭先要拍片啦。咁咧今日咧就想錄一個 YouTube Members Podcast 嘅。咁我咧就喺一個公司嘅會議室嗰度啦，咁就而家開始錄啦。咁咧我已經錄咗一部分㗎啦，而家會再錄多啲啦。今日咧都係俾大家去參考下 YouTube Members Podcast 嘅一啲內容啦。咁裡面咧其實係會同大家講到一啲唔同嘅 topic 嘅。主要咧係同大家去操練大家嘅 speaking 啦，咁當然你哋知道啦，練 speaking 咧都會牽涉到 listening 嘅，咁咧就會攞一個 topic 就係關於廣告去講啦，咁咧跟住就逐 part 咁樣去錄啦。咁上次咧就喺呢一集裏邊咧已經講過一啲關於 advertising 嘅 topics 啦，包括係 Do you think adverts have a big impact on what people buy? Are adverts useful for people? What kinds of adverts are most common in your country? 呢啲咁樣嘅題目啦，咁今次咧就會再講多4條題目，都係關於 advertising， 都係關於廣告嘅。OK， 咁咧大家就可以拭目以待啦，可以期待一下啦。而家未開始錄音嘅，咁而家開始錄音啦。大家好，歡迎嚟到咧最新一集嘅 YouTube Members Podcast 啦。咁今日咧仍然係同大家講 advertising 呢個 topic 嘅。advertising 呢個 topic 咧就我哋唔可以將佢讀成 advertising 唔可以，係 advertising 即係落廣告咁解啦。嗱，咁我哋仲有一條 IELTS 嘅題目，咁你哋聽一聽，你哋聽唔聽得明我講緊乜嘢啦？呢條題目係咁樣講嘅。The question goes like this.Which are more effective, adverts on TV or adverts on social media? 究竟邊樣嘢係有用多啲呢？有效多啲呢？ Adverts on TV 即係講緊廣告，即係講緊電視廣告啦。另一個咧就係講 adverts on social media， 即係話喺 social media， 即係話社交媒體上面嘅廣告啦。咁其實呢個應該都唔難答嘅。咁我哋要答嘅時候，如果唔係話要去到一嚟就攞9分啦，好多時。我成日都同同學講啦，就算一個最叻嘅、好叻嘅一個外國人啦，佢 native speaker 啦，佢都好難話一啲準備都唔使啦，咁你行入去用自己嘅語句咧，就即刻可以攞到9分嘅。咁所以我而家個示範咧就唔會話去到我要求自己咧一嚟就要同大家講到9分咁樣嘅 ，OK 都係好 casual 咁去答啦。In my opinion, adverts on social media are way more effective than those on TV. The reason for this is simple.There are so many people who use social media nowadays. There are millions and thousands of them, whereas the number of people or the size of the audience for the TV is reducing in size. And the reason for this is simple. TVs are televisions and programs on televisions are gradually becoming obsolete, whereas social media is still gaining traction.There are many people who will be glued, their eyes are glued to their phones all the time, like for the entire duration of the day, 24/7. 咁即係講緊咧，就係話邊一個係有效啲嚇？究竟係 adverts on TV 定 adverts on social media？ 我哋仲可以加一個 point 嘅，就係話。Adverts on social media are usually much more effective than adverts on TV. The reason for this is the audience on social media can be a targeted group of people who are interested in a particular area of interest. Whereas adverts on TV, there are very few people who check out TV magazines and turn on the TV when there is a program that they want to watch these days.On the other hand, there are many more people who prefer watching programs on Netflix and Disney+. These on-demand programs can allow people to watch a program at whatever time they want. 咁咧呢度就係講到就係點解嗰啲人係唔會喺 social media 係會多啲喺 social media 嗰度咧去睇廣告啦，但係未必會喺 TV 嗰度啦。好啦，咁跟住我哋繼續啦。當然啦，我今日呢一個集數咧都會喺 YouTube 嗰度分享嘅，咁所以咧你哋可以睇緊 YouTube Live 嘅朋友咧都可以 say 個 hi 啦。咁跟住咧到啦 ，Do you think advertising aimed at children is acceptable？ 你覺得咧係對住小朋友咧去賣廣告咧係咪可以接受嘅咧 ？Do you think advertising aimed at children are acceptable？ 我講多一次啊。 應該係咁講，係 is Do you think advertising aimed at children is acceptable? Do you think advertising aimed at children is acceptable? 咁我哋可以答嘅嘢咧就係、I do believe that it's probably in most cases ethical to do advertising aimed at children. And the reason for this is there are many products such as toys and mainly toys that are targeted at children. And if children like the toys, they like these products advertised on an advert, they will ask their parents to buy these products for them. And even though there will be people who argue that it's unethical to target advertising at children because they are not mature, and as minors they don't have the sound mind to make a decision for themselves whether a certain purchase is rational or is sensible. The children's parents will have to make the final decision for them. So even though a child can very well like the product advertised on an advert, he or she can usually not decide whether to buy it or not. And even if a child wants to buy a certain product, he or she may make a request to his or her parents that he or she might do some sort of part-time job or do some sort of work to earn his or her own income. And this is actually a form of valuable education for so many children who will eventually have to learn how to manage their own money. 咁呢度就係講緊人哋問你廣告去對一啲小朋友係咪可以接受咧？去對小朋友賣廣告啦。咁你可以話唔係，你可以話係啦。如果你話唔係，咁你咪話咯，喂，好多廣告都係 cigarettes 賣一啲香煙或者賣一啲 drugs 或者賣一啲都唔好話 drugs 啦。咁其實可能係賣一啲 medicine 賣一啲 pills 咁咧其實係唔啱 children 嘅，OK？ 或者你可以話 children are not of sound mind 或者你可以講緊 don't have the capacity to judge， 佢哋其實冇依個能力去判斷究竟咧呢一個嘅即係買一樣嘢對佢好唔好嘅咁樣咯。咁呢個咧就係一個叫做 children 啦children 究竟 advertising aimed at children 係咪 acceptable 啦 ？OK？ 跟住啦 ，What do you think about advertising for fast food？What do you think about advertising for fast food？ 咁人哋問你啦，你覺得係就住呢一啲嘅快餐食物啦，去即係做廣告，其實係一件咩嘅事咧？係你點樣睇呢件事咧？咁人哋問你點睇呢件事，你可以用一啲 adjective 去形容啦。咁我嘅認知之中咧，係好多香港嘅同學咧，其實佢哋唔係好識用呢一個嘅佢哋唔係好識去用形容詞去形容究竟一樣嘢係好定唔好咁樣嘅。咁如果你係唔識嘅話咧，咁你可以記住啦，你可以用 desirable and not desirable 呢幾個字嘅。desirable 就係好啦 ，not desirable 或者 undesirable 即係唔係太好啦。咁例如你可以話啦 ，I do believe that advertising for fast food like advertisements for cigarettes and advertisements for alcohol, they can have a negative social impact. And this is because fast food is high in fat, cholesterol, and sugar. And as a result, people who consume excessive fast food, they will become obese or overweight easily. And this will have a lasting and huge impact on their health. For example, they may get a stroke and they may eventually get heart disease, and that's why advertising for fast food is actually very harmful for the public 咁樣咯，佢講咯。咁另外咧，咁我頭先就係講到 advertising for fast food 嘅一啲 social impact 啦，一啲社會嘅一啲 impact， 社會嘅一啲即係後果啦咁樣 advertising 嘅 for fast food。咁你亦都可以話 even though advertising for fast food can be harmful for the society or for the public in general, advertising for fast food should still be allowed by by law. And the reason for this is the government should not have the right to make a decision as to whether or not a product, if it's not overly harmful, whether or not a product should not be allowed to be sold in the market. And the reason for this is we live in a free economy and the government should not intervene what is happening in the market too much. And we are supposed to live in a laissez-faire economy. And this is why it's actually very, even though there are many people who may think that advertising for fast food is undesirable, it still improves the economy and it still improves the GDP in general. 即係講緊其實係對我哋嘅經濟係有好處嘅，咁呢個就係一個比較冇咁犯道德嘅講法啦。咁我哋最後一題啦就係 Do you think some types of adverts should be banned？ 你覺得係咪有一啲嘅 adverts 應該係被 ban 嘅 ？OK， 咁例如可以話啦，there are certain substances that are so harmful that advertising for them should be banned. For example, there are drugs that are very harmful, such as cocaine and amphetamine. Advertisements or advertisements for these substances should be banned. But there are also substances that are relatively controversial. For example, CBD and marijuana. There are countries where they are illegal and there are countries where adverts for them are allowed. And in these relatively controversial cases, arguably, these types of adverts should not be banned, whereas there will always be some types of adverts that should be banned. 咁即係講緊係有啲嘅 adverts 係唔應該存在啊，例如你話你去宣傳可卡因嘅話，喂好正喎，可卡因好味喎，或者即係我唔知啦，即係我冇食過啦，即係例如你話安非他命嘅呢啲咁軟性嘅毒品啊，咁其實係咪應該可以容許咧？咁樣你就可以咁樣講咯 ，OK？ 咁所以你見咧其實都幾深啊 ，amphetamine 啊，或者你係講緊 cocaine 咁樣呢啲毒品啊 drugs 啊，咁 drugs 咧有啲人就係話，喂，其實佢哋可以係講緊普通嘅藥喎，咁但係其實咧好多時我哋講得 drugs 嘅話咧，即係毒品啊，外國人會咁樣去睇呢件事。咁所以你哋咧其實如果有睇下劉家傑老師嘅分享咧，你哋都會知啦。其實好多時講得 drugs 咧就係一個負面嘅意思啦。咁我哋咧以上就講到呢一度咯，下一集就短啲咯喎。好，咁咧就係咁樣啦。咁如果你哋有興趣去 subscribe 呢一個嘅 YouTube Members Podcast 咧，就可以去用電腦版啦，跟住咧就係入去嗰個會員個頻道啦，跟住加入去嘅 ，OK， 咁就可以咁樣做啦。咁呢個咧就係4月嘅第2個 podcast 啦 ，OK， 搞掂咗 ，OK。咁咧，我今日嘅分享就差唔多去到呢度啦。咁咧我就會去 IG 嗰邊繼續去分享啦。你哋快啲記住follow me on Instagram， 快啲去 follow me on IG 啦。The reason for this is I'm almost reaching the threshold of 10,000 followers, so I would like to reach that point as soon as possible. So please support me by following me on Instagram. If you would like to have breakfast, lunch or dinner with me, feel free to fill in the form below and I'll be really happy to make an appointment with you to grab lunch or dinner with you. I've hired 2 personal assistants. One of them will work for 2 days in my office while the other one will work for 2 days in the same office. So my personal assistants, my 2 personal assistants will work 2 days. Each of them will work 2 days in a week. 係啦，咁就係咁。咁所以你哋快啲約我啦，應該就會快啲約到嘅，因為咧我個助手已經好努力約緊大家啦。我哋再見啦。